Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about gentle skincare, sometimes self-care, and today we're talking 5 of the most common ways you are overcomplicating your skincare routine. Now, there's a lot of great information out there about skincare and lots of fantastic products, but I do think at a certain point, this does start to make things really confusing. It starts to create anxiety, and we start to kind of overcomplicate the process of skincare, and we sort of lose our way. So today I want to talk about 5 of the most common ways that people overcomplicate their skincare routine. These are 5 really common missteps or pitfalls that we all have fallen into, myself included, right? But these are the things that we definitely need to work through if we want a little bit more clarity and a little bit more simplicity with our skincare so we can reach our goals. So if you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up and let's jump right in. Reason number 1, you're not focused. You don't know your reason why. This seems really simple, but it is so common for folks to forget the reason why they're doing skincare and why they've built a routine. What are the goals they're trying to achieve? With all the skincare products and all the information out there, we can get really excited about general skincare, but if you don't stay close to the reason why you are performing skincare, you're going to end up with a routine that is really made for somebody else's skin and not for your goals. So it's super helpful to really narrow down on 1 to 2 things that you want to achieve on your skin right now. When you look in the mirror, what do you want to see enhanced or what do you want to transform? It's also important to pick 1 to 2 additional goals that you want to work on long term. Understanding that skincare is a long-term game and some of the benefits that we want to see and the results we want to see on our skin do take time. As much as marketing and influencers want to promise us that a product will work within 7 days or within a month, oftentimes the results are seen 2 to 3 months down the road or even a few years down the road. So you really have to understand that patience and consistency is a part of skincare. And so you want to pick some of those longer term goals as well. So here's an example. For me personally, right now in the short term, what I want to see change on my skin is I do have some congestion and I do have some breakouts on my skin. So that's, goal number 1 is kind of clearing up that congestion. And then the second short-term goal for me would be addressing some of the hyperpigmentation that's coming along with those breakouts. So those are things that I know from my personal experience I can address in somewhat of a short-term sort of time frame with my skincare routine. Now, there are some longer-term goals that I want to work on, understanding that these are preventative things. These are things that I'm going to thank myself for doing years down the road, right? 1 is well aging, right? Treating and preventing fine lines and wrinkles, really stimulating collagen and working on that in my skincare routine. And the second one is consistently working on sun damage, which is different than the hyperpigmentation that I get from acne. Those fade very fast. Sun damage does take a lot longer to address, and sometimes different ingredients work in those situations. So with my experience with skincare, knowing my skin, what do I want to achieve now, and knowing what I want to just kind of always be working on in the background with my routine, I am able to really create a more mindful and a really very focused skincare routine that gets me to those goals faster. So maybe you haven't been very focused in your skincare routines, and that's why your routines feel maybe kind of confusing and you're not really getting the results that you're looking to achieve. You really do need to be clear and focused. So I do encourage you to really sit down and think about the goals that you want to achieve and really make sure that you're not trying to do too much all at once. Let's keep it narrowed down, knowing that these goals, especially the short-term ones, will change from time to time. So it's always good to check back in with yourself. You're like, yeah, I am clear with my goals. Check back in and just make sure that those are still the goals that you would like to achieve. I know for me, sometimes I go through periods of congestion and breakouts, and then I go through periods of very clear skin. So sometimes those goals will shift depending on where I'm at with my skin at that point in time. Only you will know for sure, but make sure you're checking back in with yourself about those goals, because that's the very first step, right? To really reassessing your routine is making sure that those goals are very clear, but then you have to look at your products, the ingredients and actives that you're using, and see if those are actually in line with the goals that you have for your skin. Which leads me to reason number 2. You are duplicating your skincare products or active ingredients. I see this a lot. People people will duplicate certain benefits in products or certain product categories in their routine. There's multiple essences, there's multiple serums, there's peptides in every step of the process in your, toner and in your serum and in your moisturizer. And it does lead to a lot of confusion because it's like, can I use all these peptides all at once? Like, do they go together, or you know what I mean? Do they contradict each other? Which is the best brightening serum? I have 5 different ones. I'm not really sure which one's working because I keep rotating them out. This is where things get really confusing, and this is why it really does relate to number 1, which is really understanding what you want to achieve on your skin first and foremost. Because you may find that what you want to achieve is helping to clear up acne on your skin, but you have all this vitamin C in your skincare routine, and while it may be helping, it's probably not getting down to that main benefit that you want, which is clearing up your acne. You might be better served by some salicylic acid, right? This is just an example, but I do see this a lot. There's a lot of confusion about what ingredients actually do for your skin. And it, number 1, comes back to not knowing what you want to achieve on your skin, but then it comes down to not knowing what your products are doing, right? And what they're actually giving to you and your skin. I'm not saying that you need to go and get like a degree in cosmetic chemistry and become an expert in formulation efficacy, right? I do think that we complicate things by maybe taking in too much knowledge sometimes, right? But it is important to have in your back pocket some real basic knowledge about what some of the most common active ingredients do. And I would really encourage you to not read the marketing of the product, but get really comfortable just, looking at the back of a bottle and reading just the ingredients list and trying to determine what you think that those ingredients are doing for your skin. This is definitely a skill that you hone over time. If you're not comfortable with that yet, it's okay, but I do think it's a goal to work towards, because once you know what certain ingredients are generally meant to do, you can get a better understanding of what a product may be able to do for you. It's not a fail-proof way to do it, but marketing lies to us all the time. I'm going to cover this in just a second, but literally marketing lies. It is not your friend. It's not there to help you. It's there to sell to you. And I do find that a lot of people who only rely on what a brand is advertising that their product does often gets led astray and ends up with a very complicated routine that they feel like isn't really serving their skin. They did everything right, but it's just not quite getting to their goals. And that's when you end up with multiple serums and multiple essences. And it may be okay for you to do that. I'm not saying that if you have, repeat essences or you're using peptides in multiple steps, I'm not saying those are bad. These are just examples, but I do see it actually causing a lot of confusion and frustration for certain folks. It does have the potential to cause irritation on the skin. Some of these ingredients, doubled up or lots of different products all at once can be irritating for some people's skin. But I also just think that it's harmful to your wallet. Let's be real. A 10-step skincare routine is expensive. Even if each of your products individually is very affordable altogether, it does add up to a pretty big skincare bill at the end of the month. And it just may not be worth your time, your energy, and your money to have these very complicated routines, to be using 2 peptide essences in one routine. Reason number 3, you're caught up in viral marketing. As I mentioned before, marketing is not there to help you out, to inform you, and to be your best friend. Marketing is there to sell you more skincare. You may have noticed that in the last couple of years, skincare has become immensely popular. Not only just in online communities, but even when you go to the store, the skincare section in Target has expanded 3 times as big in the last 5 to 7 years. Sephora is almost completely dedicated to skincare now. The makeup's over here in the corner. Skincare is a huge industry that's generating millions and billions and trillions of dollars every single year. And you may also have noticed, if you're really in tune with the industry, there are new brands and new products coming out every single day. practically at this point. It's incredibly overwhelming. I have worked in this industry now for 6 years, and I am incredibly overwhelmed by the pace of new releases, new brands, new trends, new viral products, right? It is just moving way, way, way too fast. And I do find that in this space that is incredibly competitive and very crowded, you really do need to do something to stand out as a brand, right? You really do need to create that hit product that is different than all the other ones that look exactly the same as yours. You're coming out with a new sunscreen. Why is your sunscreen different than the thousands of other ones that I have to choose from? Why should I choose you? I really do feel like all this competition and this crowded industry does lead to some, what I think some people would choose to use the word shady marketing tactics, right? You really do have to do some wild things to stand out in the crowd and get your products sold. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of things like industry plans. Brands are using influencers, not necessarily sponsoring them, but they are using influencers by seeding a ton of product to lots of different influencers across lots of different platforms, because the goal of that is hopefully, right, if they send out enough free product, that product is going to end up in organic, meaning not paid, not sponsored content, all at the same time. And I just think it's so important to remember that when we're watching content, we're watching it for entertainment, right? We may be also watching it for education, of course, but generally it is to entertain our brain, to distract our brain. We're bored, right? We're taking a break. That's usually the frame of mind that we're in when we watch and consume content. We're not necessarily always in the frame of mind of like, well, what's the nuance of that argument? Like, where are the critical thinking skills here? Like, of course not. We're not doing labor, right, to consume entertainment, really. Even me, like I said, I've been in the industry for 6 years. I know what goes on behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? And I still watch content and I'm like, ooh, tell me more. I'm gonna buy this. I get just as excited as anybody else does about all these viral ingredients and viral products, right? And all the things that people are raving about. Of course I do. And I'm not asking you to like take away the entertainment and the enjoyment for content and we have to like sit here and put our glasses on and like, be very serious about it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not asking you to perform labor, but I guess what I'm saying is like, it's so important for us to enjoy our content, right? And maybe even get excited about these products and about this marketing, but understanding how marketing works, right? Marketing, as I've said a couple times now, it's not our friend. It's not there to help us. It's there to sell to us. So always having a little bit of that cynicism, I think, is a little bit important, but also, like I said, like get excited about these things, but be able to take a step back and take a breath, take a pause, grab a snack before you hit purchase. You know what I'm saying? Take that moment to look at this, viral marketing claim or this product or this ingredient, right? And really decide if that product is in alignment with, number one, your focused goal, right? We talked about that at the beginning of the video, right? What do you want to achieve on your skin? Does this product align with that goal or those goals, right? And then number two, does that product fill something missing in your skincare routine? Or is it going to become a duplicate product or a duplicate benefit or ingredient? If you already have a vitamin C, why are you looking at buying another one when that bottle's not empty? Ooh, I feel a little called out there. I do this a lot, right? All the toners, for me, it's the toners. So it is important to ask ourselves that question though before we hit purchase. And this is what marketing does to us. So that's what I'm saying. Just be aware of it. This is what marketing does. It makes us not take the pause. Reason number 4, you think more is more. Hint. It's not. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about the number of products that you're using in a given skincare routine, because that is actually like a really useless debate to have, because that answer is going to be different for every single person depending on skin type, skin condition, environment, what they enjoy, what their skin can handle. And so I'm never going to say that the perfect number of products is 4. You'll never hear me say that. I'm never going to say that you have to have a 10-step routine, right? It depends. And so that's not at all what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about when I say more is not more is I'm really kind of calling back to doubling up on your products and in your ingredients, because I do find that people get into this mindset that if I put all the well aging into one routine, that I'm going to achieve my goals faster. So I am not only using a vitamin C in my routine, but I'm also using a retinol, but I'm also using peptides, but I'm also using ceramides, and all together in one routine. That's a lot. And generally, people are usually hitting too hard with this mindset. You can use ceramides across lots of different products. That's not what I'm saying, but I do find that this mindset generally leads people into pushing their skin too far with aggressive actives, using too much chemical exfoliation, using too many retinoids, or using it too often, or because they want to use like all of the products all at once, we do end up with some ingredients that don't actually complement each other. They may, in fact, interact badly with each other or create a lot of irritation on the skin. And so this mindset of more is more, when you want to pack your routine with all of these potent actives, it usually backfires, right? And what do I always say, with your skin barrier, right? The root of all healthy skin is your skin barrier. If you're constantly pushing your skin, if you're testing it, if you're being really aggressive with your skin barrier, over time it is going to weaken and become damaged. If your skin barrier is damaged, none of the goals that you want to achieve are going to be achievable. Right? You are actually putting your progress backwards if you're constantly working your skin irritation down to the point of a damaged moisture barrier, because you're opening yourself up to more potential breakouts, because your skin barrier is not protecting your skin from bacteria anymore. It's also incredibly inflamed. You're going to be more prone to dehydrated skin, which is going to really work against your goals as far as fine lines and wrinkles, because it's going to make your skin look even thinner, even more hollow, even more saggy, right? It's going to make fine lines you didn't even know existed look a lot more prominent on your skin. You're not going to be able to stimulate collagen because all your body's worried about is your, deficient moisture barrier, right? You can't stimulate those proteins when your body just needs to be creating the lipids, right? And you're also going to create a lot of issues with protecting yourself from the sun as well, because your barrier is a defense for that. So it's just, it all compounds, and it all ends up like 5 steps behind where you want to be. When you think more is more and I want to be 5 steps ahead, you just pushed yourself back so far. And it's kind of like Sisyphus, right? Like when you're like pushing that rock up the mountain and you get to the top and then the rock just falls right back down. And then you just kind of and you're never actually making any progress because it just kind of keeps rolling back and you just keep pushing it forward. Reason number 5, you're not tapping into your skincare joy. This is the difference between thinking, I have to do my skincare, and yay, I get to do my skincare. Because if you're feeling like, I need to do my skincare or I have to do my skincare, you may not be tapping into what makes you happy about skincare, your joy in skincare. I think most of us are drawn into skincare first and foremost because we want to transform our skin. Something is happening on our skin that we're seeing in the mirror that we want to change. For me personally, it was congested and very dull skin in my early 20s. I really was starting to get fed up with feeling like I had to cover my skin up in makeup, right? I really wanted to work on that canvas underneath. And that's what drew me into skincare. But I think what kept me with skincare all these years later, more than a decade later, right, is honestly the experience of skincare, the self-care of skincare, the slowing down that skincare encouraged me to do, taking a minute for myself, especially for me, my nighttime routine, that ritual of like washing the day off, right? And cleaning my skin and really like washing off all the stress and the anxiety, but then kind of building up those layers of hydration and moisture and plumpness and really comforting myself and pampering myself and taking care of myself and nourishing myself, right, was actually something that really got me through some really hard times in my life. You know what I mean? The ritual and the routine and the consistency of skincare was really a pillar in some of the hardest times of my life. And that is something that really kept me going. And even to this day, just the self-care of it, the pampering of it, is something that really draws me in and keeps me here. I love textures. I love how how I make my skin feel smooth and soft and firm and plump and, hydrated and juicy. The reason why I use these words and why I have so much enthusiasm about, that aspect of skincare is because what I really love. It's what truly, genuinely lights me up in skincare. Lean into that. Whatever it is that lights you up about skincare, do more of that. Build more of that into your everyday skincare routines. It is not uncommon to feel like, oh yeah, I have to do my skincare. Like, yes, of course, sometimes I feel like that too, for sure. But I think that, kind of circling back to what makes you happy, lights you up, and brings you joy in skincare. And like I said, do more of that. Lean into that. You're going to feel less ugh and more yay about your everyday skincare routines. So don't overcomplicate it. Focus on your routine. Don't duplicate your products. Try to resist the marketing hype. Don't try to put it all on your face at once, and make sure you remember what makes you happy about skincare in the first place. If you love this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, definitely hit subscribe. Come join our community if you want to see more skincare content just like this. And I want you to drop in the comments your favorite tips for simplifying your skincare routine and not feeling too complicated about it. Thanks for being here with me today. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you're healthy, happy, and safe. Talk to you soon. Bye.